Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
During one of their laps, and that dropped them down from 3rd into 5th place. That promoted Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas up into 4th place, and Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Lebreton into 3rd. And already you can hear in the background the crowd going absolutely wild because their man Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas making the way onto the gate. Veldman, Van Lukener, Bax, Varrick, Hermans, Van Verven, Lefferink, and the 7-1-1 of Marcus Normack and Karl Albert Kaseselu. That is how they line up on the grid. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak, the only CPD frame in the FIM World Sidecarcross Championship this year. Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax looking to repeat yesterday's performance and extend their championship lead. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. They want to do a whole lot better than 9th place yesterday. It was very much damage limitation yesterday for the reigning champion. Hopefully they can make a better start today. Local man Kurt Varrick and his Finnish passenger Larry Kunas line up alongside Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens. So much pace from the number 3 outfit. Just haven't quite managed to put it together so far this season. Is this the race where that changes? Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart recently turned 32 years old did Ben van den Bogart. Tim Lefferink and Kostas Paleskas up next. Then it is Marcus Normack and Karl Albert Kaseselu who line up right in the middle of the gate. So that'll be the inside half of the gate because, of course, it's a very wide gate into a very, very narrow first corner, and that provides a whole load of action as we saw yesterday. Justin Kuban, Nicky De Bruyne on the number 14 outfit line up alongside Lucas Cherney and Bastien Chopin. Czech and French pairing on the number 25. Next to the number 444, local pairing of Robert Litzter and Birger Tal. They were showing some good form yesterday. Can they get inside the top 10 this time around? We'll have to wait and see. Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupilis. Now you notice there that they're just locking the front forks down, and that is to give them a better start. We'll explain that one in just a moment as we look at Jake Brown and Joe Millard just in the background there. Still yet to put on his goggles as Joe Millard, very experienced passenger and driver. Number 34, Tanner Riesner and Marcus Lehner line up alongside the 10-time world champion of Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Lebreton. Thumbs up from them. They're raring and ready to go. But once again, before we get the race underway, an absolutely huge thank you to all of the sponsors that help get this show on the road and help us put together this FIM World Sidecarcross Championship here in 2021. And what a fantastic view we've got of the circuit there in the background of that particular shot. The wind has picked up ever so slightly, and the tension is starting to build once again as this race shall get underway in a very short period of time. So Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupilis just locking in the front forks there, and that is to give them, it's hard to explain, the locks in the front suspension, and that limits the transfer of weight from front to back. So instead of the energy going through the transfer of the weight, all the power is pushed to the ground, and with suspension already locked in, there is no interruption at all. So hopefully that will work with them. They're in the right-hand side of the screen there in the middle, just next to, it looks like Jake Brown and Joe Millard with the purple and green jersey. We'll soon get the race underway. 15 seconds to go then before the second gate drop out of 3 for the FIM World Sidecarcross crews. Final stretches, final preparations being put in place then for all drivers and passengers. I hope you're ready at home, because we're certainly ready here in Lange, southeast of Estonia. The gates are about to drop any moment now, and away we go. Good stuff from Daniel Billington and Rodolphe Leverton right on the far right-hand side. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, can they get the whole shot? Indeed they can. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset take the whole shot. Julian Veltman and Andrei Chermak around the outside of Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. Tim Lefferink and Kostas Baleskas up there in the mix as well. Everybody safely through, it would seem. Certainly that is the case. Jake Brown and Joe Miller, they're mired down in the pack. Paul Horton and his driver Eugene Cox in the orange outfit just in the background there. 6th place yesterday. Can they repeat yesterday's performance? But Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens, they have got a whole lot of pace, and they are there in 4th place as it currently stands. Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, this is the highest we've seen them all weekend in a race situation. In 3rd place, just behind Julian Veltman and Andrei Chermak. But the question is, where is Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bags? The answer to that one is right there in 6th place. They're trying to stick it up the inside of Tim Lefferink and Kostas Baleskas. Can they get the drive and make a move? No, they can't. They've dropped the position. Once again, they're down to 7th place now. As Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas, the number 6 outfit, put themselves into that 6th place. Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax, not quite sure what happened there, but they're down into 7th place now, unfortunately, for the current red plate holders. And that will be good news for the men in 2nd place, Julian Veltman and Andrei Chermak. So right now we're just looking at the some of the minor placings there. Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax, they won't be happy, currently sitting in 7th place. As we turn our attention back to the leaders, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. They weren't very happy with yesterday's performance. They got caught up in the drama in the 2nd turn and unfortunately had an incident themselves which saw them drop to 20th position. And they clawed their way back up to 9th place. It was a good fight and a good ride from the reigning world champion, but they were very disappointed with the end result. But this time around, Bax and Mousset lead the way from Veltman and Chermak. Van Verven and Van den Bogart up next in 3rd. Hermans and Janssens ahead of Lefferink and Baleskas. Then it's Van Leeuwen and Bax, who are now back ahead of Varick and Kunas. Cuban and De Bruyne, Normack and Kaseselu, with Billington and Lebreton rounding out your top 10. It looked like Billington and Lebreton did get a good start, but unfortunately got a little bit caught up in the 1st corner, which of course is so easy to do, especially when it is as shallow and as narrow as what it is. But Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax trying to go the long way around of Tim Lefferink and Kostas Baleskas. They've got the drive and they've got the inside line. They're side by side, a little bit of contact between the number 2 and the number 75. But one more position gained then for the red plate holders of Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax. Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas, they'll be looking to make their way back inside the top 6 as well, which is currently occupied by Tim Lefferink and Kostas Baleskas now. Fantastic stuff already then as we make the way around the difficult left-hander. You can see how deep the ruts are around this sand circuit here in the southeast of Estonia. Lange, near the city of Tartu. Tim Lefferink and Kostas Baleskas just ahead of the local hero, Kurt Varick, with Larry Kunas, the Finnish passenger, doing everything he can all over the rear wheel of that machine to aid Kurt Varick in his charge to catch up to Tim Lefferink. Kostas Baleskas doing a fantastic job as well, with Tim Lefferink only around 17 or 18 years of age. So Tim Lefferink with a fantastic ride yesterday. He was in a strong 3rd place for the majority of the race before that unfortunate incident which saw them drop down to 5th place. But still, fantastic ride from the number 75, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. The gap last time was around a second over Julian Veltman and Andrei Chermak, and certainly it looks as though that has opened up already. 1.45 seconds is now the gap between Bax and Veltman, with Van Verven and Van den Bogart, the Dutch pairing, in 3rd place on the number 11 white. Hermans and Janssens ahead of Van Leeuwen and Bax now. Lefferink and Baleskas losing a little bit of time on Van Leeuwen and Bax. So we've got almost a 3-way battle here between those 3 crews, rounded out by Justin Kuban and Nicky De Bruyne in 8th place ahead of Normack and Kaseselu, with Billington and Lebreton still ahead of Jan Pavel and Pavel Bukal. Lefferink and Bleskas now coming under a lot of pressure from Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. Look, Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas make their way past Tim Lefferink and Kostas Bleskas, and you can hear the crowd cheering in delight as Tim Lefferink and Kostas Bleskas are relegated down another position from the local Estonian rider of Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. Up into 6th place now for the number 6 pairing. Can they hunt down Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax? Under pressure already now with Tim Lefferink and Kostas Bleskas. Justin Kuban and Nicky De Bruyne. He's seen Marvin van Lukenen go through. He's seen Kurt Varick go through. He wants to go through as well and put himself inside that top 7 position. And a little bit way further down the order, we've got Jake Brown, Joe Millard in 20th, Litzer and Tal in 21st, Van der Lagermatt and Devine in 22nd. Bax and Mousset lead in the way by just under 1.5 seconds over Veltman and Chermak, Van Verven, Van den Bogart, Kuban and De Bruyne there. Almost, oh, it's bad news once again for the number 34 of Tanor Riesner and Marcus Lehner. They were involved in the incident yesterday at the second turn, unfortunately going upside down, and it hasn't gone any better for them here now. Very unfortunate indeed for the number 34. Of course, they're the local pairing as well, both from Estonia, who have some good form in the practice and qualifying sections, but unfortunately haven't quite put it together yet in a race. And we've got a yellow flag down here. What's gone on here? Someone's gone upside down. That's not Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens. We saw them go out of the picture. Can't quite see who that is. It's at the 11 of Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. We can't quite see. But hopefully we can get a closer visual on that one. But certainly both riders and passenger. And it is the number 11 of Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. I don't believe it. Out of 3rd place then, Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. Oh no. Hopefully they can get that machine struck up and back in the race, but there's in a very solid 3rd place. But that does promote Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens into 3rd now. Van Lukenen and Bax into 4th, with Varick and Kunas rounding out the top 5. Now it's all very difficult with the blue and white colours of both Kern Hermans and the number 11 of Gert van Verven. But it's Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. Look to the left-hand side of your screen here. They just got a little bit crossed up on the landing there, and unfortunately the deep ruts here threw them over the top, and the bike pirouetting down the hill and losing positions, unfortunately. But both rider and passenger up and okay, it would seem, as Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Wow, look at this. Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak, they can smell the blood and they want the race lead, because of course they will know, hopefully, from the pit signals that Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax are in 4th or 5th place now, and this is the perfect chance to capitalise and potentially put themselves in an even better position to take away the red plate. That would be absolutely incredible to see. There's Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak less than 1 second behind Bax and Mousset, as we can see from the graphic there. 0.91 seconds between the two crews. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset doing everything they can to maintain their advantage at the front of Veltman and Chermak. They've had 1 race win and 3 second places so far this season. Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax, they've had 3 wins and 1 second place. So it would certainly seem that the number 2 crew and the number 31 crew are the ones to beat. With the number 82 reigning world champion Etienne Bax getting a little bit crossed up in the ruts there, both using the same lines for Etienne Bax and Julian Veltman. And that is very interesting indeed. It is so fascinating to see how hard the passengers have to work. It is a very physically demanding sport, is sidecar cross, especially at world level as well. These guys are at the top of their game, as Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens coming under pressure once again from Marvin van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. It's the number 3 crew versus the number 2 crew as they come into this very tight left-hander. And is that the number 98 of Egan Kops and Paul Horton? Can't quite see a number there, but certainly a bright orange machine indeed. Hopefully it is not, but the number 98 indeed it is. Eugene Cox and Paul Horton, who were 13th coming across the line last time around ahead of Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukal. Jake Brown and Joe Millard a further 1 second behind, now into 14th place from 20th earlier on. And here is a replay of Eugene Cox and Paul Horton. Just got caught there. Oh, very, very nasty one for Paul Horton there, getting caught up with the third wheel on the left-hand side of that outfit. But he is up and raring to go before the bike has even come to a stop. It's a very nasty looking accident indeed from the number 98 Dutch and British pairing. And there they are, back out on the circuit and trying to make up more ground and more positions. But here we go then, Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens with Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax breathing heavily down their neck. They're so close they can smell the aftershave of the number 3 crew. Less than 1 second is the gap between the number 3 and the number 2. As we said before the race got underway, Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens were showing absolutely fantastic pace all throughout the practice and qualifying sessions, but as is the story with the 2021 this year for the number 3 crew, they haven't quite managed to put it together in a race, but it looks like their fortune is changing. In third place at the moment, just 1 second ahead of Van Leeuwen and Bax. Lefferink and Lesker still behind Varick and Kunas. Cohen and De Bruyne 7 seconds ahead of the Estonian crew, Normack and Kaseselu. Willemsen and Lebreton promoted into 9th place now due to Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, unfortunately going over the high side in the early part of the previous lap. 10 minutes already complete and 18 to go then before we get the 2 laps to go flag. And can Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax get onto the rear wheel once again of Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens. Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukal in 13th, Brown and Millard in 14th, Sven Visselink and Kenny van Galen in 15th, just ahead of Tom van der Lagma and Rob Devine on the number 99 outfit in 16th. And on 5 points. The gap now between Bax and Veltman is 4.3 seconds, and as we look at Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax, the gap between those is 1.2 seconds or so between the number 3 crew and the number 2 crew. So it's all still very close between Hermans and van Leeuwen, and already we're about to encounter some of the back markers. Unfortunately, it looked like the Stacey and Alex van der Velde crew on the 1, 2, 3 up next, as well as Argo Polter and Arno Piva. As we look at Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupelis, a very experienced passenger, as you all will know, is Kasper Stupelis, world champion in 2003 and 2004 with Daniel Willemsen, and again last year, most recently, with Etienne Bax. Fantastic stuff from Kasper Stupelis, the Latvian, but Gert Gordiev, the 151, they're both riding injured here this weekend. If you didn't see the photos on social media of the, I think it was the right hand pointing finger of Kasper Stupelis, it was bent at 90 degrees to the right. It was a very nasty looking one indeed, but he's got it all strapped up, bandaged up, and they're certainly doing a great job out there this weekend. Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens, a very young but very talented rider is Kern Hermans, the Belgian. Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax. Just the one world title to Marvin van Leeuwen's name, of course, back in 2018. They want to reclaim that title away from Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset this year. But one crew they didn't count on, I suspect, is the 31 of Julian Feldman and Andre Chermak, having a fantastic season in the opening 2 rounds. Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens now quite some way ahead of Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax. But can Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax get a second win? Can they find a groove that works for them and catch up once again to the number 3 crew of Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens? As we look at Gert Gordiev and Kaspar Stupilis coming under pressure from Bastian Chopin and Lucas Cherney on the number 25. Very, very close battle indeed between those two crews, the 151 and the 25 of Gert Gordiev, Kaspar Stupilis and Lucas Cherney and Bastian Chopin. As we say, a very, very experienced passenger is Kaspar Stupilis. That amount of world titles certainly wasn't through coincidence at all. Lucas Cherney, Bastian Chopin trying as they might to overcome the advantage that is currently held by Gert Gordiev and Kaspar Stupilis as they come over the double jumps into the very difficult, deeply rooted left-hander. Oh, they've gone down! That is the 25 of Lucas Cherney and Bastian Chopin. They got caught up in the rut and unfortunately they went down to the left-hand side. Hopefully they can get it righted as quick as possible. You can see the marshals helping as much as they can, but Lucas Cherney, Bastian Chopin, they were trying so hard to get onto the rear wheel of the 151, Gert Gordiev and Kaspar Stupilis, that unfortunately they have tumbled out of it and trying to get that machine kick-started back into life. Come on, they're saying. But here we go, this is a replay. Watch the second crew in the picture into the left-hander, and unfortunately it's right there. There is where they got caught up with the that real deep rut, and unfortunately that caught them off guard. There's the 444 of Robert Lister and Birger Thaler making their way around. Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens up next. Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax still some way behind the number 3 crew as Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Look at the speed they carry into that first turn. So much speed, so much style and so much talent from the 2017 World Championship winning pairing right there on screen, Bax and Mousset. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak now 6.6 seconds adrift from Bax and Mousset. Hermans and Janssens quite some way behind as well. Van Leeuwen and Bax are about 3 seconds adrift from the number 3 crew of Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, the Dutch and the Belgian rider and passenger, with Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas a further 13 seconds behind Van Leeuwen and Bax. It'll be very interesting to see the championship positions at the end of this race if the positions remain the same. But of course, in Sidecarcross, anything can happen, as we've just seen with Lucas Cherney and Bastian Chopin. Will Gert Gordiev and Kaspar Stupilis know that they went down and have a bit of breathing space now? We do not know, but I'm sure they'll be getting pit signals and will soon be notified of that one. Willemsen and Le Breton just 3.2 seconds behind Normack and Cassessalou now, who in turn are 13 seconds adrift from Kuban and De Bruyne. There on screen is Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak, currently second place, about 6 seconds behind the reigning champion of Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset as well. Doing a fantastic job, scoring some solid points. They were a little bit crossed up over the jump there. They've got it under control. They know what they're doing, and it was all very touch and go with Andre Chermak 2 or 3 years ago. He had a nasty accident in 2018, and the severity of the injury was such that he didn't know if he'd be able to ride again. But luckily for us, and luckily for all of Andre Chermak fans, he's out there and doing an absolutely fantastic job in second place and fighting for the world title in 2021. As we take a look at number 53 of Sven Wisseling and Kenny Van Galen into the first turn. There in front was Thomas van der Lagema, who's coming under pressure now from Egan Kops and Paul Horton, who we saw unfortunately have that tumble, and Paul Horton getting caught up with the machine, which is definitely not what you want. Well, with just over 11 minutes to go, the sun is starting to break through here in Lange. I can see the cloud cover is starting to open up a little bit, and blue skies are peeping out from between, and that is good news for all of these crews, because let me tell you, yesterday's conditions were absolutely abysmal. I think it's fair to say a lot of the crews were not having a good time, despite loving the new circuit that we've got for the FIM World Sidecarcross Championship. And Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas certainly enjoying it there inside the top 5 as well. 20 seconds or so ahead of Leffering and Balescas. Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens. If they can hold on to this, it will be their first podium position finish of the year, which will do their confidence no end of good going into not only the third race, but also the next 2 rounds. Which, of course, the next 2 rounds, we've got the Sidecarcross and Quad Cross of Nations in Gugnon next weekend in France. And then after that, we have the third GP, the FIM World Sidecarcross Championship in Tramelin in the Czech Republic. And then after that, in 1 week's time after that, it will be to the Netherlands in Os for what will be the 2021 Championship finale. And hopefully we'll see a new champion crowned. But can Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset do anything about the advantage of Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax? They were third in the championship coming into this round. And with 25 points currently in the pocket, with 9.5 minutes to go, they're looking to get their championship defence back on track. Fantastic to see the amount of people here watching the World Sidecarcross Championship all around the circuit and on the banking as well. 3 or 4 deep in the crowd. It's absolutely delightful to see, especially after the complications and interruptions that were provided courtesy of the COVID-19 pandemic. Jake Brown and Joe Millard, unfortunately, have stopped on the inside of the circuit, trying to kickstart that machine back into life. Is Jake Brown, and hopefully they can get it started, because they were running in 14th or 15th place or so after coming from 20th in the opening lap. But it doesn't look as though it's working for them right now. Come on, come on, come on. Can they get the machine started and find... So, oh, was it kicked into life there? It doesn't look as though it was. Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens just make their way through, as do Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax. It doesn't look as though they can get that machine started. There is Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Hand up there from Jan Pavel Bukal, as they say, come on, you can come through, as they are the race leaders by quite some margin now. 9.1 seconds is the advantage then the last time around for Bax and Mousset over the 31 crew. Then next up it's number 3, then number 2 and the number 6. So Hermans ahead of Van Leeuwen, then it's Varick ahead of Lefferink, Cuban, Normack and Willemsen with his French passenger Rodolphe Le Breton. Not quite as experienced as what he could be in the sand tracks, but he's doing a fantastic job there, especially coming away with the 3rd place in yesterday's race. The first of 3 for the World Championship Sidecarcross teams this weekend in Lange. Over the line once again for Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. 6.5 seconds is the gap now. They will know they've got a healthy advantage at the front of this race over Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak, so they just need to control the race from here and maintain their advantage, and then 25 points will safely be in their pocket. You really do get a sense of speed that these guys carry down the straights and over the jumps from various camera angles, and oh dear, it is not good news for Jake Brown and Joe Millard. They've pulled their machine to the inside of the circuit, and it looks as though that is the end of the race for the British pairing. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset just contending with the deep ruts. Of course, you cannot lose concentration in these kinds of conditions, as we saw with Lucas Czerny and Bastien Chopin trying their absolute best to get onto the rear wheel of Gordiev and Kasper Stupelis. But here we go then. Here is a replay of the start. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, right from the word go, get the whole shot. Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak were momentarily in 2nd place, but Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas were right there with them on the number 6 outfit as well. Fantastic slow motion shots there of the reigning champion Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, and it looked as though they were catching up to the rear wheel of the 151 of Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupelis, and indeed they were. Of course, Etienne Bax won the championship in 2019 with Kasper Stupelis. And number 54 moved out of the way as well. Ular Carring and Oliver Sebastian Lamp local pairing for the number 54, but Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Absolutely sublime job that they're putting out here for all of us to bear witness to, as there's only 5.5 minutes left of this race. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak now a further 9 seconds behind. There's it looks as though there's what's up going onto the circuit, probably a air fence, something of the like. Hopefully that is all sorted out and moved out of the way for the rest of the crews. But Koen Hermans and Glenn Jansen's 24 seconds adrift from race leader Bax and Mousset, but still in quite a solid third place, it does have to be said. 9 seconds ahead of Marvin van Leeuwen and Ben van den Boogaard. So the 82 leading the 31, who leads the number 3 and leads the number 2. Here we go. There's just a slight moment for Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak, who certainly torn away at the grab rail. There was Andre Chermak, a little bit sideways over the jump, but all keeping line astern upon the landing. Opting to go for the higher and faster line does number 31, as Jake Brown and Joe Millard. They have got their machine back underway now, and for the number 8, it's very much damage limitation. Second in the British Championship this year for Jake Brown and Joe Millard. But it's all eyes towards Andre Chermak and Julian Veldman in their second place position. 22 points will be what they score if they can maintain this position to the race's end. Here we have a look at what's happened here, and just caught it with the sidecar wheel there. The number 54 here, it looks like. So Ulla Carring and Oliver Lamb were the ones who unfortunately caught that barrier and brought it into the track, unfortunately. Hopefully that's been moved out of the way now, and everything is all good. Certainly everything is all good for our race leader, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. What more can be said about the number 82 crew? Of course, Etienne Bax, a multi-time world champion in the World Sidecarcross Championship. 2019, of course, being the most recent. 2017 and 2015, also championship winning years for Etienne Bax, piloting that number 82 machine. Koen Hermans and Glenn Jansen's doing a fantastic job there in third place. And Koen Hermans, who has 17 podiums to his name in his Sidecarcross career. Can he make it 18? We'll have to wait and see. But Bax and Mousset now with a 10.8 second advantage over Veldman and Chermak, as we take a look at Koen Hermans and Glenn Jansen's current third place position crew. You really do get a sense of how hard Glenn Jansen has to work, especially with the slow-mos that the WSC team are providing here for us. It really is such a fantastic sport, this one, a spectacle for all of us to see. Koen Hermans and Glenn Jansen's in a solid third place. Cuban and De Bruyne now 5 seconds ahead of Lefferink and Balescas, as Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Lebreton put themselves into 8th place, relegating the local pairing of Marcus Normack and Carl Albert Cassessalou into 9th place. Just 1.1 seconds separates the number 111 from the 711 as they go onto this lap. Barrick and Kuna still there inside the top 5, so a 4th place yesterday and a 5th place today. That will be a fantastic result from the Estonian and the Finnish rider. But Bax and Mousset, nobody has an answer. From the word go, they pulled the pin, took the whole shot, and nobody has challenged them since. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak in 2nd place, 12 seconds behind the number 82 now, as we come into the final stages of the second race of 3 here for the FIM World Sidecarcross Championship. But it was a great shame for number 11, Gert van Verven and Ben van den Boogaard. They didn't do much wrong, but unfortunately in this sport, we've seen it so many times throughout the history of the sport, smallest mistakes can unfortunately bite you hard, and that certainly was the case for the number 11 crew of Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart. Here we have Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas, the number 6 pairing, still rounding out the top 5, some way behind Van Lukenen and Bax now. Van Lukenen and Bax, who were challenging Hermans and Janssens for that final podium position, have unfortunately dropped off and are now 12.6 seconds behind the number 3 crew. You see the rest of the crews making their way past our picture here down the back straight, and the clock has just struck 0. So the next time Bax and Mousset cross the line, it will be 2 laps to go for the reigning champion. Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukau coming under pressure from Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas, but of course Adrian Peter and Miroslav Zatlukau on different laps. So hopefully the number 24 crew won't be too much trouble for our number 6 crew of Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas. This circuit really has provided some spectacular action in both championships, in the European Quad Cross Championship and this, the Sidecarcross World Championship. And it's so good to see a new circuit on the FIM World calendar. And I do know that the drivers and passengers alike are certainly enjoying the challenges that this 1.6 kilometre Lange circuit has thrown at them throughout practice, qualifying and the racing. 2 laps to go then. Bax and Mousset, 13.5 seconds or thereabouts over Veldman and Chermak. Hermans and Janssens up next, 15 seconds behind the number 31 crew of Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak. And it will be very interesting to see the championship standings at the end of this race. Coming into this race, it was a 6-point advantage for Van Lukenen and Bax over Veldman and Chermak, but of course 22 points for Veldman and Chermak if they maintain at this position, and 18 points for Van Lukenen and Bax if they maintain their 4th place position. So the gap would come down from 6 down to 2 points if the positions remain the same as what they currently are. Varrick and Kunas having a good solid ride inside the top 5 positions here on the number 6 outfit. Estonian fans will be going absolutely crazy for Kurt Varrick, as they was yesterday. And the number 57 just being lapped. Unfortunately, Argo Polzar and Arno Piva, the local pairing on the number 57 outfit. And Argo Polzar and Arno Piva moving out of the way for our race leader of Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Coming into the final part of the circuit now. And you can see how hard they are still working. You cannot lapse in concentration, especially with the track conditions and the ruts as deep as what they are. But Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset on to the final lap then for the reigning champion, and of course championship winning pairing of 2017. Look how hard the suspension has to work to contend with the conditions and the ruts that are around this Lange motocross circuit. 14.3 seconds is the advantage for Bax and Mousset over Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak on the number 31 outfit. You can certainly see how difficult it is for Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. They said they were very disappointed with their 9th place yesterday, but of course the results only tell half the story, because they were at one point outside of the top 20 in the early stages of the race. They're doing a fantastic job there to put themselves into 9th place. But of course, the World Championship winning mentality of Etienne Bax is he is not happy unless he is winning races. And winning races is what he is doing now. 14.5 seconds in front of Veldman and Chermak. Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens now quite some way ahead of Marvin Van Lukenen and Robbie Bax. So 4th place at the moment for the red plate holders. And as I say, if it stays like this, the championship advantage for Van Lukenen and Bax will shrink down from 6 points to 2 points. Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas, still a good ride inside the top 5 for the number 6 outfit. But it's a great shame, as we say, for Gert van Verven and Ben van den Bogart, showing some real promising form in the qualifying and the race yesterday as well. But unfortunately, that incident has took them out of the race. Justin Kuban, Nicky de Bruyne, the Dutch and the Belgian pairing, quite some way ahead of Tim Leferink and Kostas Paleskas. But that battle for 7th place is not done yet. The gap between Leferink and Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Le Breton in 8th place is 0.3 of a second. In the meantime, though, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset take the win and take home 25 points away from race 2 of the FIM World Sidecarcross Championship in Lange. One more race this afternoon, and they'll be looking to repeat today's performances in that one. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak, a fantastic 2nd place once again for the number 31 crew on their CPD Mega outfit. And of course, as I mentioned before, the only CPD frame in the pack as Kern Hermans and Glenn Janssens take their first podium finish of the 2021 season. 13 seconds behind Veldman and Chermak, but of course it does not matter how far behind you finish. Points mean prizes, and in 3rd place they will take home 20 points ahead of Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax, who take 18. So will Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax be happy with that, or will they be a little bit disappointed that they're not on the podium and not winning the race? Through the line now was Ian Cox and Paul Horton, who we saw have quite a big crash down the backstretch of this Lange circuit. And Paul Horton unfortunately got a little bit involved with the sidecar machine, but he got up and it was absolutely okay, it would seem. Varric and Kunas across the line to take 5th place in their home GP for the 2nd race. That's Jan and Pavel Bukal across the line, just ahead of Joachim Ryman and William Latweiler, so 26 ahead of the number 43. But in the meantime, Bax Mousset, Veldman Chermak, Hermans Janssens, Van Leeuwen Bax, and Varric and Kunas is your top 5, just ahead of Justin Kuban and Nicky de Bruyne, with Tim Leferink and Kostas Paleskas in 7th. Willemsen and Le Breton, they had 3rd place yesterday, in 8th place in the 2nd race here today. They won't be thrilled, but they'll have to make do with 8th place. But right now we can go down to Yeva Kuzma in the pits, because I believe she has Etienne Bax.
Etienne, comfortable race for you. How did you feel on the bike in this deep sand?
Well, we feel actually really good all weekend already. Just yesterday with the start we had some issues and we could not come out, but our lap times are fast all weekend, so we know that we can do this, but it just needs to click, and at this heat it clicks, and was all okay. You know, we took a whole shot and we win the race with a comfortable lead, so this is all what you can ask for.
At which point did you realize that you have the good momentum going to be comfortable and lead the race in your pace?
Yeah, after a while we came in with some back markers and we were a little bit lucky with that. So Veldman dropped till 4 seconds behind us. And then I knew I saw already some good lines, but I did not want to take them because it would be an advantage for Veldman. So I was waiting till the gap for 4 seconds, and then we took some nice lines and we could make it till 10 seconds. So I'm happy, and hopefully in the 3rd heat we can do the same.
All right, good luck for the 3rd race.
So a very happy Etienne Bax there. He did say yesterday that he was disappointed with his 9th place, but the lap times and the pace that he was showing would certainly put him in the top 3 positions. And in the top 3 he was in fact taking the win. But right now we can go back down to Yeva and speak to Julian Veldman.
Julian, another 2nd place for you this weekend. Are you satisfied with this result?
Well, yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, we could follow again the first few laps. Then we got problems with the back markers, and I needed to let Etienne go. But yeah, we could control the race, and I'm happy with it.
What's the goal for the last race for today?
I need to win it.
All right, good luck.
You can't knock the honesty of Julian Veldman there. He needs to win the 3rd and final race, which will be coming at you live later on this afternoon. Can he overcome the red plate holders of Marvin van Leeuwen? We will have to wait and see. But right now we can go down to Jeva, who I believe has Koen Hermans with us this time.
All right, Koen, it's so good to see you smiling. Finally, a good finish for you and the team. How are you feeling?
Yeah, we are feeling really good because yesterday we did crash in the first heat, and we did not have a good result. So now the start was not so good as yesterday in the beginning, but we came back to 3 and we finished on 3rd place. So yeah, we are really happy with this result.
And what's your expectation for the last race?
Well, I hope the start is a little bit better. Now the ground behind the gates was really soft, and we had to make the line later because Gert was riding, and first he was not riding, so we had to go 1 to the left. So it was a little bit hurry up, but yeah, still we are really happy about this result.
All right, good luck for the last race.
Thank you.
So there we go. Koen Hermans very happy with that 3rd place position. Can he get another podium later on this afternoon? We will have to wait and see. But right now we're just waiting for the overall classification and confirmation from race 2 of the FIM World Sidecarcross Championship, with a fantastic race from Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. They got the whole shot and they were not challenged throughout the race. Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak, try as they might, once again got right close but could not overcome Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. That is how they finished in that race, with Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupelis rounding out the top 10 just behind Normac and Kaseselu. Eugene Kops and Paul Horson come home in 11th after that unfortunate incident in the early part of the race. 99, 26, 43, and Adrian Peter, Miroslav Zatlukal rounding out the top 15. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining us for the 2nd race here. And right now I shall leave you with the highlights from race 2.
Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupelis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Leeuwen certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.